State University are going through an integrity test before the whole world.
Yes.
Do you agree to that?
I agree, and that's why I said that there is a conspiracy, and that if I have the opportunity, that I will carry placard and protest at the embassy to say, United States, you are under integrity check. Redeem yourself now, or otherwise stop posing for American exceptionalism in this country. I would have done it. And we until they help us solve this problem, every other thing they're doing in Nigeria is a manipulation in favor of their continuous business interest.
All right.
Can you sacrifice a people because of one corporate interest that may be related to oil and gas business in Lagos?
Well, that would not depend if you count as African, as Nigerian. If we count, that is when you can say, can they sacrifice? If we don't count, clearly they may be able to sacrifice.
Yeah, we don't count, because what matters to the all of even international community, so to say, is what they can get in Africa. So sacrifice the people of Africa in favor of one illegitimate arrangement, and then get the money you can get. If check well, the American oil and gas interest in Lagos is enough for them to say, let us close our eyes to whatever is happening to those silly people.
So at against the integrity of the continent.
They are setting a very wrong
and
precedent.
As against the Chicago State University.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bad thing they are doing to Africa. It's a bad thing they are doing to Nigeria.
So they are willing to sacrifice.
A university of that level cannot, I think it is a mainstream university.
Over 100 years old, by the way.
So why can't they just say, look, we are sorry, we have lied to the people, we have manipulated documents, we have hidden documents. Why should it be difficult for a university to release documents, even when the court has ruled? And now they turned it. There's a difference between the certificate and other privileged information. What is that privileged information? The identity of the president. That is in question. Is Bola Tinubu Ahmed our president?
This is the third independence anniversary. It is important that we draw our attention. That we draw attention to the fact that this nation was once a great nation filled with great hope, inspired by great leaders, until inept and corrupt leaders took over the helms of affairs and ran the country aground. The crisis of leadership is truly the crisis of our national development. The erosion of ethical governance, rampant corruption, and political instability became defining features of our nation. Instead of harnessing our potential for the collective good, our leaders often pursue the personal interests and leaving the masses to grapple with the consequences. That's like sounding like Obi again. This period of independence must serve as a time when all of us have to seriously seek to question ourselves and thoroughly re-examine our actions as a people and as a nation. We have to soberly reflect on why we have moved from a once prosperous nation to become a country that is the poverty capital of the world, with over 133 million multidimensional poor people, according to the NBS data. We must then, in the spirit of this year's independence, go beyond questioning where we have found ourselves in a cesspool of poverty and despair, and build a determination to put a stop to this inexorable march to cesspit and morals of excruciating pains and impoverishment, Ajero said the citizens have a strong role to play in our collective quest for freedom from the shackles of mindless exploitation and pauperization. He said holding our leaders accountable is one of the very critical roles we must all play to free ourselves from the guise of the oppressive forces of retrogression. It is the highest form of participation in the democratic space. If we cannot hold our leaders to account for every of their action, then we lose our democracy and we lose our nation. It therefore remains our patriotic duty for those that truly love our nation to rise at this time and speak truth to power to ensure the salvation of our nation becomes real and our people from the north, the west, the south, and the east are able to enjoy the full benefit of their Nigerianness, which holds a great promise. But what is this promise premised on if we don't have anything to hold on as we speak?
Going through all the topics you have placed today shows that some people still have Nigeria at heart.
True.
It shows that this 63rd independence has been properly, discussed, has been subjected to proper open conversation. A lot of people have interrogated what is happening, giving perspectives on the Nigerian question. We, in the University of Social Sciences, we have been dealing with the Nigerian question, problem of Nigerian question, problem of Nigerian unity. It has been so widely canvassed, so widely discussed, and also with ideas on how to solve the problem. But it is one thing to talk, another thing is to work. There is no collaboration, for instance, between labor and academia towards addressing the political and economic situation in Nigeria. I'm not talking in terms of ASU strike or labor strike. I'm talking in terms of policy and principle direction, that without discussing politics, that the academia and the labor echelon should be able to drive the process of bringing about change in Nigeria, because the labor are in custody, the labor unions are in custody of the resource base, the productive base of this country, which is the laborers, the workers, the ordinary people. I don't limit workers to only those who are holding employment. I'm talking about even artisans, even market women, even those who are dressing, even those who are driving. All these are, very, very fundamental, and they should come under the concept of labor and productivity of a country. Now, even in political theories and so on, Karl Marx made it clear that the masses cannot lead themselves. The masses can only be led by the intelligentsia, and one of the groups in the intelligentsia that is in that position are the people in the university, the academia and the labor should be able to lead this country on what to do as to bring about holding those in politics accountable. Nobody is holding them accountable. Nobody is holding politicians accountable. An individual activism cannot achieve it. It is collective under umbrellas like trade unions and academia can do it very, very well. So I hope to, like today, I would have been happier if there is an ASU position on this
strike,
this anniversary.
Independence Day.
What is ASU's position on our independence? What is ASU's position on the strike? In terms of going on strike, I have said, and I may disagree with most people, that strike does not hurt the rich. In Nigeria, because strike hurts the poor, strike has become a problem. We are bearing the burden of strike, ordinary people, and students and children. So we are under strike fatigue.
So what would you suggest?
I would say, let there be no strike as being proposed.
So how do you demand accountability like Labour is asking for?
Now, accountability can be demanded not necessarily through strike.
So can you suggest?
Yes, I have just said, for instance, that there has to be a consolidation of aggrieved groups.
How do you demonstrate that?
I have said, for instance, that it will be better if the academia and the trade union leadership examine this country again and get out a blueprint to engage.
As a better approach, that will yield a better result.
It will put those in government to begin to think there are people who are watching.
Yeah.
And that people who are able to mobilize the masses towards demanding accountability in governance.
I want to say a very big thank you to you, Professor Steve Wardo, for being part of ATN Sunday and ATN Open Air and having open conversation with us.
You swear with us. We hope that we change. This country is beautiful.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much once again, Prof.
Thank you.
And that's been the long run for today, everyone. Now, if you missed any part of the conversation, like I always say, we got you covered. What you need to do is watch live from our website or our app. On our website, we're AtlanticTelevisionNetwork.tv. And from the app, we are ATN Live. Just download that and get all the juicy details. Or you can go to our Facebook and follow us and do share. And you get all the Facebook and YouTube, and you get all the juicy details as well as Atlantic Television Network on YouTube and Facebook. Do well to follow us on other social media platforms. On Instagram and TikTok, we're Atlantic TV Network 1. On X, we're Atlantic TV Net. Remember that peace and unity remains the pathway to progress. Enjoy the rest of your 63rd Independence Anniversary. Bye.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
What brought access to our money will put in the bank. She said $3,000 is 1,000 to collect $3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.